Hello everybody. On this episode of Busman on the Road, I'm on the Celebrity Summit and we're doing a full tour and review of my inside stateroom 9151. Oh, it's true. It's damn true. Stay tuned. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, the Busman, and this is another episode of On the Road. This channel is your gateway to all of my travel tips, guidance, and advice on all things related to cruise and destination vacations. For those of you watching who have already subscribed to my channel, big double thumbs up, thank you very much. With your support, my channel continues to grow. And I do sincerely appreciate your likes and subscriptions. For those of you watching who have not yet subscribed, my only ask is that if you like the content, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button right down below. It's absolutely free. There's no commitment, no obligation. Doing so will only let you know when I put out future content. Now that that's out of the way, without further ado, pitter patter, let's get at her. So this past Friday, I started the second leg of a back-to-back Alaskan cruise on board the Celebrity Summit. I've already completed the first leg of the journey, which took us from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, all the way up to Seward, Alaska. And we're at our first port of call today, which is Juneau, Alaska. So I'm taking this opportunity to do a full tour and review of my inside stateroom cabin. And yes, I did say inside stateroom cabin. So you might be asking yourselves, why did I book an inside cabin? So as we always do on this channel, full disclosure, the first leg of my journey from Vancouver to Seward, Alaska was fully comped by the Blue Chip Club. I have amethyst status with the Blue Chip Club with Celebrity Cruises. So I received an offer for a free cruise on an inside cabin, and far be it for me to turn down a free cruise. So I took advantage of it, and I selected this cabin. This is a deluxe inside cabin. It just means that it's more towards the midship and it's on a higher deck. This is my first time ever on an inside cabin, and I do have to admit, I did have some trepidations because up to this point, all of my cruising has been in a veranda in one shape, form, or another. So, there's nothing to it but to do it. So let's get to it. Less talk, more tour. Here we go. So, as we always do on this channel, we'll start at the front door. You have your standard peephole and your assembly station instructions, emergency procedures. In this case, it's Deck 4D2 is my emergency location, emergency alarm plans, and 5 different languages as per normal. Again, we have our deep sleep magnetic card. So when you're going to bed at night, if you don't want to be disturbed in the morning by your stateroom attendant, then all you need to do is stick that on the other side of your door and enjoy a blissful night's sleep. To the right, on the entryway here, right here, you have your master switch, which turns all the lights on and off. On the left side, which we'll get to in a minute, we have our storage closet. And stepping back into the hallway, on the right side, we have the bathroom. And adjacent to the storage closets, we have these 2 storage cabinets. Each cabinet has 2 shelves and a total combined 4 cubby holes for storage. And obviously this one contains your in-room safe. I always keep my valuables, cash, jewelry, passport, car keys, anything I don't want lost on the cruise ship, keep in your safe. Above that, I just have some other items stored. That's my first aid kit. tip to the wise, always pack a first aid kit with you. Anytime I travel on land or sea, I always bring a mini first aid kit. It's always a handy thing to have should you need it. You can see on this lower shelf I have other items stored here, so there's plenty of storage in these cabinets, and that helps keep your stateroom neat and tidy. All right, adjacent to the storage closet and below the storage cabinets, we have our dresser drawer space. There's 4 drawers, plenty of room for jeans, socks, underwear, t-shirts, swimwear, whatever it is that you bring and want to store away in the shelves to help keep things neat and tidy. Directly above the dresser drawers, we have this open desktop space, which contains 2 bottles of Evian water and a couple of glasses. Word to the wise, if you touch or drink those bottles of water, you will be charged. They're not included as part of your cruise fare or your cabin. So to be forewarned is to be foretold. Adjacent to the dresser drawers and below the storage cubbies is your mini bar. Now in this case, I have not had my stateroom attendant empty the mini bar. However, you do have that as an option, and nothing in the mini bar is included in your cruise fare, at least on anywhere from inside cabin all the way up to aqua class. None of this will be included. And on the top of the mini bar, or fridge as I like to call it, a nice little surprise from Celebrity when I came into my stateroom this afternoon. These are the little touches of class, the panache, the finesse, the luxury, the pampering, I could go on, that you get from Celebrity Cruises. So talking about the mini bar and the other amenities that are in the room, let's talk about the what they call the private bar. Not included in any beverage package. So again, as I said, this is not included as part of the room. And even if you do have a drink package of any sort, it's not included. So if you eat or drink anything that's in the stateroom, when you enter the stateroom, there is an additional charge. And how much is that additional charge? Well, let's peruse the prices. So the Tito's vodka, there's 4 of them, and it's just a 1 ounce shot of Tito's vodka. Those are $15 each, and these prices are in US dollars. The wines, the Chardonnay, there's 1 Chardonnay. It's a very small bottle. You might get maybe 2 glasses out of it. $30. The rosé, that's also in there, 1 bottle, also $30. If you want one of the 2 Heineken beers, why anybody would drink Heineken is beyond me, but at any rate, if you choose to down a Heineken, those are $10 a piece. There's money well spent. The non-alcoholic beverages, as it were. Coca-Cola, there's 2 cans in there at $4.75 each. The Diet Coke, also $4.75. There's a 750 ml Evian. Those are the 2 big bottles off to the side that we already talked about. Those are, again, for a stateroom, for a cruise ship, those are $5.75 each. So that's actually less than what I was expecting. In terms of the Coke and Diet Coke, pretty much on par. You're going to pay double that if you go to a movie theater. But again, you're getting a lot more than the 355 ml can as well. So it is what it is. And that tiny little bag of kettle chips that you could smash in probably 15 seconds or less. There's 2 of them in there, and those are $5.25 each. So there you go. At least you know what to expect in your stateroom. The next thing we'll talk about is your more in the breakfast. If you have an early excursion or you need to get off the cruise ship first thing in the morning, they do have these little pamphlets here. You stick it in your mail slot outside of your stateroom door before you go to bed at night, and you put your name, how many people, for how many people you want, your stateroom number. There's some delivery times, so whatever time you want. It's in half-hour increments, for example, 6 to 6:30, 8 to 8:30, 7:30 to 8. Whatever it is you want, you just check off that box. Now, on the left side of the menu, I don't know if you want, you can freeze the or pause the video so you can read this. You might have to zoom in a bit. However, on the left side, I'm looking at it, so when you're reading it, the left side of the menu is a complimentary continental breakfast, which has like your coffees, your juices, fruits, baked items, bagels, rye toast, butter, jam, marmalade. There's and a basic selection of different cereals. So if you check those off, they'll come to your door. Those are free. Don't worry about it. However, on the right side of the menu, you need to be aware that regardless of what your status is, now I'm not talking about people who are booked into the retreat. That's a completely different category. However, all guests, regardless of your celebrity status, or what's anywhere from an inside cabin all the way up to aqua class, there is a $9.95 service fee per room. So it's not per person, it's per room. So and that applies to any of the hot items or the regular breakfast items you might order. Also bear in mind there's a 20% mandatory gratuity that's added, so your $10 charge is going to turn, really it's a $12 charge. Items you can order for breakfast like scrambled eggs, poached eggs, fried eggs, pretty much any kind of egg that you could want. Cheese omelets, they got all kinds of different omelets, and then from the griddle you got bacon, sausage, ham, hash browns, French toast, pancakes, that sort of thing. So you do have the ability to have breakfast delivered to your room. However, if you order the hot breakfast or any of the more robust items off of the menu, there will be a $12 charge, gratuity included. Lastly, when it comes to room service, I don't know why they put the retreat on this, but it's not about the retreat. It talks about in-room dining. So you can have, if you don't want to go to the buffet or you don't want to go to in-room dining, you just want to hang out in your stateroom, relax and have a meal in your stateroom, again, you can do that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And they have a wide variety of items, soups and starters, different salads, hamburgers, chicken, pasta, salmon, spaghetti, turkey club sandwiches. They even have a kids menu, they have a dessert menu. So it's not a short list. And again, this is, there's also the breakfast list on here as well. They also have an alcohol, so they'll also deliver alcohol to your room. They have wines by the glass at $10 a piece. If you want some of the better wines, those are $17 a glass. And again, a 20% service charge is automatically added to your check. Now, what it doesn't say on here is if the alcohol they deliver to your room is included in the drink package. At the time of this recording, I don't know the answer to that, primarily because I have never ever done room service on a cruise ship. The only time I'm in my stateroom is when I'm sleeping, showering, changing. That's about it. So if you know the answer, put it in the comments below so that everyone can know, because I don't want to state one way or the other unless I know 100% it's true, because that's how I do's it on Busman on the Road. All right, we're just moving back into the closet area. So as you can see, on the right-hand side of the closet, you have plenty of space to hang all your shirts, suit jackets. Down below, you have plenty of room for your shoes. You got two separate storage areas for shoes or whatever else you want to use it for. Swinging around to the door. Hola, everybody. You can see the inside of the door has a full-length mirror so that you can make sure you're dapper and good to go onto the cruise ship prior to leaving your stateroom. On the left side of the closet, again, plenty of space for hanging pants and shirts and whatever else you have. You also, down there, you can see the laundry bag and the laundry slips, and you got 3 additional shelves. I'm using them for other footwear. Tons of room, tons of room. And above the closet, you have some more space. You can put additional items such as duffel bags or whatever else you might want to put up there. And also above the storage cabinets, there's some more space up there if you want to put some items, larger, bulkier items that you don't want to put anywhere else for the duration of your cruise. Moving on to the bathroom. On the right side of the bathroom door, there's a light switch here. As you can see, you can turn all the lights off and on. There is a night light down below, turning the lights back on. One of the nice things about the Celebrity Summit, it was part of the Celebrity Revolution process prior to the pandemic. So this stateroom was fully revolutionized and has been completely updated. And for those of you who have sailed on Edge class ships, you will note that the styling of this washroom is very similar to that what you would find on an Edge class ship. So this particular washroom is, I will say, one of the more compact ones that I've ever been on in a cruise ship. So unlike other verandas that I've been on the Summit, there's only one storage shelf on the left-hand side, as you can see. There's 2 shelves, and then you have your vanity area. Again, quite compact. However, as you will note, everything is spotlessly clean. It's immaculate. You have all LED lighting above. Above the sink, you have a socket, so you can plug in your electric shaver, or in my case, the electric toothbrush. While small, the bathroom is fully functional. It does come with Celebrity branded body lotion that you can see here. There is a bar of soap, and when we get to the shower, you will see the included amenities. Moving around, you have the standard towel rack. The inside of the door has 4 hooks, so you can hang bathrobes or wet towels or what have you. On that note, if you want to reuse your towels, just hang them up on these hooks. If you want fresh towels, leave them on the floor of the bathroom, and the stateroom attendant will give you fresh towels. Standard cruise ship toilet, nothing too spectacular or special about that. Under the sink, the only storage we have is what you see here down below. There is a hair dryer down here, along with spare tissue paper, toilet paper, and there is a little cubby, you can see here, which has additional hand towels. Moving on to the shower area, you can see that there is a clothesline in this shower, and it's just strung across the width of the shower. In this particular shower, we have a handheld shower head / nozzle. It only has 1 spray pattern, I should say, and it does have an adjustable rod, so you can move the shower up and down as you would like it. Standard cruise ship shower controls. For those of you who are new to cruising or who may not know, the left side tap here, when you turn it towards the wall, that turns the water off and on, and it's a pressure adjustment. On the right side here, as you move the dial this way, the water gets colder. If you turn the dial towards you while you're standing in the shower this way, then the water gets hotter. And the water pressure in this bathroom is very good, and the water is very hot. You have a little storage rack on the left side of the shower for if you bring your own soap or supplies from home, razor blade, what have you. You will also note that they have pump bottles, and they have the smooth conditioner, the shine shampoo, and the wash shower gel. Those are all included and are free of charge. Like other cruise ships, you have the foot bar for shaving your legs. You also have a safety handrail. And this is actually a very clean and very good size shower for considering it's a cruise ship and the overall size of this bathroom. All right, so as you can see, I'm standing in the shower. Please forgive the echo. There's plenty of room in the shower. I'm a big guy, like everybody knows. Lots of room to maneuver. I can turn around. No complaints, no issues whatsoever. This shower gets the job done. And what the busman really gives a double thumbs up to, no shower curtain. I can't stand shower curtains. I hate them, I detest them. I don't think they're sanitary. They just drive me crazy. So one of the nicest things that Celebrity did when they revolutionized these bathrooms was get rid of the shower curtains. Oh, it's true. It's damn true. So that's the main entryway, which again covers on the right side, the right side looking out, the washroom, your closet, your clothing storage, your mini wet bar, and the cabinets. So swinging around to the left, you do have a lit mirror vanity area with a desk and a chair. And on the right side, as you can see, you have your power plug-ins, your light switch for the lit mirror. So there's a European plug, there is a US style plug, a couple of USB ports. And as you can see, I'm using one of my adapters. It's plugged into the European port because I always carry both with me when I cruise. So I double my ability to use the electrical in the stateroom by taking advantage of both the European plugs and the US or North American style plug. I'm not using any of the 3 drawers down below for anything, but again, more storage in the desk / vanity area. Moving around to the other side of the stateroom, I'll give you a little look. That's my day bag that I take with me everywhere I go. Anything, any essentials, medications, what have you, I store in this day bag. You can get them on Amazon, and another thing you can get on Amazon are these magnetic hooks. That bag right now is probably weighing about 5 or 6 pounds, and you can see these magnetic hooks. Again, you can get them on Amazon. There's lots of different brands, it doesn't really matter, but they work very well. On the right side of the stateroom across from the bed, you can see the TV. I typically leave my TV on the navigation channel. There you can see the picture of Juneau from the front of the cruise ship, so you do have some outdoor views if you're in an indoor cabin, or an inside cabin, I should say. Again, I have a couple of hats on the wall, more utilization of the magnetic hooks. I'm just going to do a general sweep of the room. Again, we have 2 globe-style lamps on either side of the bed. And again, if you've been on an Edge class ship, you will see the similarities. You get a full king-size bed in this inside stateroom. This bed is one of the more comfortable beds that I've ever slept on a cruise ship. So coming to this side, you do have a master light switch. When you press that switch, it turns off all of the lights in the room. This lamp, and only on this side, on the right side of the bed, as you can see, I have my cell phone charger and my CPAP machine plugged in, so there is USB and electrical plug-ins on the right-hand side of the bed, which is an added bonus. On this night table, you have a little drawer for storage, and then down below you have 2 additional shelving units for any other items that you may want. All right, so we're moving down to the right side of the stateroom, and you can see this other globe lamp. And I will pause and say the busman always corrects himself when he makes a faux pas. This globe on the right side, down on this side over here, actually does have 2 plug-ins as well. So there's power on both sides of the bed. That's the first time I've seen this on a Celebrity cruise ship. Again, you do have the drawer and the 2 shelves down below. In terms of pillow selection, the 4 pillows are, you can see they're quite large. You get 4 of them. And if you need a more or firmer pillow or a different pillow, you can ask your stateroom attendant. There are some other options. However, these pillows are very comfortable. The other thing I'll say is the bedding, extremely comfortable. Very warm, very soft, nice and toasty. I have absolutely no complaints at all whatsoever. And as I'll get into when I talk about my final wrap-up, I have had some of the best sleeps I've ever had on a cruise ship in this stateroom. One of the other amenities that you get with this room is this, it's like a quasi couch, sofa, chair, not really sure what to call it, but I am going to call it very comfortable. It gives you a place to sit down and relax. There's a little table there. You can put your drink if you're reading your iPad or reading your book. And right above it, you have your TV, so you can see what's going on if you want to play a movie, or in my case, what I like to do is the navigation channel. I have a clothesline in my room. As you can see, it's suspended by 2 magnetic hooks on either end. Again, this is another item you can get on Amazon. There's lots of them. However, this is one of the thou shalts and the must-dos for me. It's one of the first things that I set up on my stateroom, and I have a couple of items on here. So the scenario is I just came back from the pool and my shirt and my shorts are still damp but not dripping wet. You can just hang them up. They air dry and they're off the floor, and it also gives you ability to make sure at the end of your cruise that when you're packing all your stuff, you're not packing any wet clothes, because wet clothes weigh more, and it helps to avoid those overweight bag charges. And as you can see, I have a couple of coats with me, and I have those suspended by, you got it right, more magnetic hooks. So I have my rain jacket, and then just a lighter windbreaker for when I'm out and about on excursions or just going around town at one of the ports of call. So I'm just going to do a bit of a 360 panorama here, just to give you an idea of all of the features and the amenities that this inside stateroom number 9151 on board the Celebrity Summit has to offer. And this is the view that you get when you first walk into your stateroom. So what I'm going to do is just do a bit of a final review and a wrap up. In terms of other amenities, inside staterooms are pretty much as they come. You don't get any of the perks that you would normally get when you think of perks in terms of concierge class or aqua class staterooms. You do have the exact same privileges and benefits that every guest on board has, such as the main dining rooms, the pools, the solarium, the buffet, the evening shows, access to all of the venues throughout the entire cruise ship, with the exception of the retreat club, because only retreat club members get to go into those areas. So really the difference between an inside stateroom and any other stateroom up to and including aqua class is the veranda, the balcony. If you're in an ocean view, it's exactly the same as an inside cabin, except you have the big circle window, or sometimes a square window, depending on what kind of cruise ship you're on. You have a view outside. Inside cabins do not have a view of the outside. However, it is laid out and is identical in most ways to any other room on the cruise ship that you're on. Now, in terms of square footage, this is a Millennium class ship, so all of the staterooms are smaller in comparison to a Solstice class ship, and the Solstice class staterooms are smaller, not by much, but they still are smaller than what you would find on an Edge class ship. So the bigger the ship, the slightly bigger the stateroom, at least with Celebrity. So as in the title that you clicked on when you watch this video, it says, I screwed up. Well, let's talk about it, because bad busman. I didn't follow my own advice. I screwed up. I made a mistake. and it wasn't the inside stateroom. As I talked about at the beginning of the video, I did have some trepidation because I'd never booked an inside stateroom, and I've talked to people that swear by them, and I've also talked to people that said they would never do it again. So because this trip was fully, the first 7 days was fully comped by Celebrity, I decided I was just going to book the 7 days coming back. And for a multitude of different reasons, a 7-night cruise just wasn't long enough. I wanted a longer vacation, and the cost to come back really wasn't that expensive. When I added the cost of transportation from Seward to Anchorage, and then the cost of the airfare to get back home to Vancouver, it was only a few $100s more to rebook in the same cabin that I'm in right now and have another 7-day cruise coming back. So it was a no-brainer. So but getting back to the original point that I was making, you know, as you know me, when all the videos, I say it like it is. Whether this room was comped or not, I give honest and fair reviews. I give credit where credit's due, and I call them out when they need to be called out. And that's how it goes. Oh, it's true. So having said all of that, you know, I really didn't know what to expect on an inside cabin, and I will say this, I was pleasantly surprised. The most thing that I was pleasantly surprised by was, as I talked a few minutes ago, if you want to have a good night's sleep, inside cabin is the way to go. I mean, this cabin is pitch black. For demonstration purposes, I'm standing at the stateroom door looking into the stateroom, as you can probably tell. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just hit the master light switch to give you an idea of how dark an inside cabin can be when you turn the lights out. And it doesn't matter what time of day it is or time of night it is, it's an inside cabin. So the lighting is going to be the same 24/7, 365. Now you will note that I've turned off the globe lamps for this. So when you come into the stateroom, this is what it looks like. And this is what it looks like when you turn off the lights. And I'm not kidding. You can barely see your hand in front of your face. Now looking to the left, what you can see above, barely, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but at the base of the bathroom door, there's a little smidgen of light because the bathroom does have a night light, as I talked about earlier. Now I'm going to turn the lights back on. Boom. Alright, so now I'm standing right beside the bed on the right side. You can see the TV is obviously off, and that's the entryway door. And I'm going to hit the master light switch right beside the bed. Bam. Amazing. Now, I don't know if the camera's picking it up or not, but you can just see a little beam of light under the front door of the stateroom. It is absolutely pitch black in here right now, and this is what makes a comfortable bed, comfy pillows, and a pitch black room. It doesn't get any better than that. Hit the light switch again. Boom. Back in action. So this, for me, is a huge plus on being an inside cabin. And I have to admit, I never in a million years thought that I would be saying as many positive things about an inside cabin as I have so far. So it's nice and dark, and normally, had I picked correctly, it would be nice and quiet, which leads me to how I screwed up. So on every cruise I've ever done, I always check when I'm booking my cabin. I go into the deck plans of the ship that I'm looking at, and I make sure there's staterooms below me, above me, and 360 around me. I never book cabins above noisy venues, below the buffet or under the pool, because I like quiet, I like tranquility, and I like peace, and I don't like noise. Well, I screwed up. For some reason, when I picked cabin 9151, I was of the mistaken belief at the time I booked that there were cabins on deck 10, because on a previous cruise a few years ago, I sailed out of Miami on this very ship, and I was on deck 10 in an Aqua class stateroom. So, you know what they say about assume? Well, I assumed. But what my mistake was is stateroom number 9151 is directly below the buffet, and there are no staterooms above me. So up until about midnight, I could hear the sounds of rolling carts or banging noises or other noises. So once I fell asleep, I was out like a light. I was gonzo till the morning. However, I do have to, at nighttime, usually I come into the stateroom probably around 10:30, 11 o'clock at night on most nights. And for that first hour, I'm hearing noises. I'm hearing the sound of rolling carts. I'm hearing some banging and clanking noises. I have no idea what they are, but I'm hearing them. So I got nobody to blame but me. That's my fault. And I can assure you, I won't be making that mistake again. Other than that, I have nothing bad to say about this stateroom. It's clean. The stateroom attendant has been exceptional. Everything works. The air conditioning is the climate controls are bang on. So really, if you're looking for a great deal, inside cabins are always going to be the cheapest option in terms of when you decide to book a cruise. And I can tell you that depending on itinerary and where I'm going, I am definitely going to start including inside staterooms, because I can tell you on the next transatlantic that I book, it's 100% going to be an inside stateroom, because really there's nothing to look at, and the amount of money you can save. There's transatlantics available right now, 14, 15, 16 night transatlantic cruises for like $1,200 per person inside cabin. Now, as everybody knows, I'm a solo cruiser. I do most of my adventures on my own. So the amount of money that I can save by booking inside on strategic occasions is definitely a consideration that you may want to factor in, and using that money to book more excursions, or maybe doing some more specialty dining, or just keeping the money in your bank account. And because really, if you're booking inside cabins, you can do 2 cruises for the price of 1 stateroom, whether it be concierge or Aqua class. So the busman definitely learned something on this cruise, and any fears that I had about booking an inside stateroom on a cruise, gonzo. I have absolutely no issues with this cabin, and I'm sure that with all the information I provided, you have enough information to decide for yourself if it's right for you. And with that, I'm calling this one a wrap. I am the busman. You take care, be well, and I'll see you on the road. Aye, aye, and goodbye. Peace. You take care, everybody. Be well. Until the next one. Adios.